Good morning and welcome to MTV. What will the upcoming academic year look like? This is a question that not only students but also teachers are asking. Offline, online or hybrid educations? We are going to discuss it with Adri Meidom, Director of the Business Administration Bachelor Program. But first, news. Are you going to the campus after the end of April? Then a rapid corona test beforehand might be required. The government has submitted a bill to make this mandatory during the pandemic. Whether this is legally possible remains to be seen. Today, the constructions of 2 new buildings starts on campus. The preparations have been going on for some time. This is what the construction sites look like at the moment. The new sports building should be finished in a year's time, and the new multi-purpose education building is due to open approximately a year later. The university doesn't like to see calls for Dutch students only anymore. There was a commotion about an email from the Eureka Week board in which they invited only Dutch students to apply for the board positions. The Diversity and Inclusion Office is working on new guidelines. Erasmus Walks is an initiative to connect Rotterdam students with one another so that they can take a stroll together and have a chat. Students Maud and Maudi tell us why they are keen on joining this initiative and taking a stroll with strangers.
I think for me it's definitely important that I did this. Apply to Erasmus Walks, especially because I have been very much by myself. Some days were very lonely, and I think this is a way to meet new people,
to exchange ideas, to walk.
I think I just signed the form, and then of course you receive some contact details of a person. And for me it was a boy, so that was also quite different because of course mostly it's with girls.
I signed up for this too, and I was matched with a girl from Colombia. It was a little bit awkward in the beginning, but then we walked, and well, because you're all students and you live in Rotterdam, so the obstacles are very soon disappearing because, well, you're kind of the same.
Come back to Rotterdam next academic year. That is the crystal clear message from the Bachelor International Business Administration of the Rotterdam School of Management. And here with me today is Adri Meidom, Director of the program. Welcome, Adri.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. And what an optimistic message you have, asking students to come or to be back to Rotterdam.
Yeah, it may sound optimistic, but there's also realism underneath it. Actually, 2 of the previous items made me very happy to see this initiative with walking with another student, because that's very much to the point. And I was also very happy to see that we'll be having new construction work on the campus to create more study facilities for students. I don't know how you've experienced the press conference of the Prime Minister last Monday, but I was kind of happy with this message. Because what he said, it's unlikely that we will be back for on-campus teaching still this academic year. For Erasmus University, this would imply that we will keep having sufficient study places for students. And we know there's enormous demand from students to have the ability to study on campus.
Yeah,
And
but
as long as we don't teach, we have those places available.
okay, so you are asking the students to go back to Rotterdam, but except from the study spaces, do you know what it's going to look like already, or if courses will take place on campus again?
Yeah, and actually, I make a difference between the current academic year, because that's a done deal. So we're not going to call upon our students to return still this academic year. That's no use when you have so many internationals in the house. But for the new academic years, we have made a crystal clear message indeed. And the message is, come to Rotterdam. And if you already are a student with us, come back to Rotterdam. And the main reason relates to the previous items. We have learned over the past year that we're able to deliver online in a pretty good way. Most of the teaching staff is pretty happy with it. Students are quite happy with it. Performance levels have not suffered from online delivery. But when we surveyed the students, one big signal was given by all the students: we miss each other. For students, it's vital to meet each other. So part of our policy for the next fall has been determined by this wish of students. We should be able to see each other. So this partly explains why the message is, come to Rotterdam, even if teaching is still to a certain extent online. We still want you to come to Rotterdam, because only then you will be able to meet.
Okay, and so you still want students to go to Rotterdam, but are you prepared for the corona measures that might still continue to apply after the summer? What if we still have to, 1.5 meter distance, we still have to keep? What do you think about that?
Yeah. That's all challenges. But for us, it was clear, especially when you serve so many international students as we do, that it's very important to be early, to be on time with your messages that you send out, and also not change it anymore afterwards. So we take a risk that things might be different at a certain moment, but we just want to create clarity at the earliest possible moment. What we did, we made a blueprint ourselves for the bachelor programs, bedrijfskunde and international business administration. So we crafted a design and we identified some courses of which we very much wanted that they would be on campus this fall. And we actively reached out to the teaching staff of those courses, asking them, would you be willing and able to deliver on campus?
But what do the teachers said? Do they worry that when they give on-campus lecture, things will get worse and they will be forced to get back to online education again?
Yeah, that's what we had last year, because then the message was, it's online, there's no need to come to Rotterdam. Still, we created some provisions for the bedrijfskunde program, so offering workshops for mathematics on campus, but we stopped at halfway because things became too dangerous. We expect things this fall will be different, but actually we have informed our teaching staff that we have actively approached. Be aware, chances are that we need to change things, but still we want to hear from you. Are you willing and able to deliver on campus? And in the end, it turned out that for the bachelor program, for every year, at least 2 courses will be taught on campus this next fall, out of a total of 5 courses. So there will be campus activity.
Okay, that's good to hear. And it's like the half of the courses at the bachelor program. And when you look back on this academic year, are there things you're really positive about?
I must say that teaching staff has done a great job changing overnight from more classical ways of delivery, lectures, etc., to online delivery. And we also see that appreciation among students is high. On our evaluation scores, we see that there's much appreciation for how the job has been done. The bottleneck, the challenge, have been the exams. And if there's one thing that everybody in the school wants, is that we will be able to have exams on campus again next year.
So for you, we should definitely get rid of online exam.
Yeah, as long as we have to, we will do so. But it's not ideal. And for the bachelor, given the large numbers that we have to deal with, we have decided to not go for online proctoring, which implied that we needed to change a lot of our exams. So there's no way to work with closed book exams for multiple choice exams, etc. That's all way too much fraud sensitive. So we've asked our teaching staff, change the way that you do the exams, change to open questions, change to the higher levels of the so-called Bloom taxonomy. So do not ask for facts, but for relations, comprehension, explanations, etc. We also replaced written exams by assignments, which was much appreciated by students, but was an enormous amount of work.
Yeah, and last year your program had to deal with fraud committed by students during an exam. Is this the reason that you changed the method of examination?
Yeah, actually, our students are clever, and they spend part of their brain capacity, so to say, on inventing very creative ways to committing fraud. So we need to keep up with them at the same time. Okay. There's always a risk. That's also a risk in the traditional situation, so to say, because actually you do not know how they distribute the work when they have to work on an assignment, etc. But risks have increased in online times. And already for that reason, we'll be very happy when we're able to go back to on-campus examinations.
So thank you for joining today, Adri, and good luck with preparing for the next academic year. And how is your laptop or PC doing after a year of working from home? I know I need a new one. The unions are still discussing remote working allowances, but if this happened to you, perhaps you should sound the alarm a little earlier. Thank you all for watching. EMTV will be back next Thursday, 9 a.m. Go to erasmusmagazine.nl for the latest news.